gonna make some breakfast sausage. And the recipe it calls for a lot of things, 2 pounds, but we don't exactly have 2 pounds. We have 1.1 pound to maybe 4 ounces. So I had to do a lot of conversions to this recipe. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of salt. Then you're gonna do a half teaspoon of pepper. Oh, that was a 1/4. Give it a moment. There we go, that's about 1 teaspoon. Now a half teaspoon of pepper. Then you're gonna do half teaspoon of sage. And that's the right amount actually. Then you're gonna do a teaspoon of majora. Half teaspoon of savory. Just about anyway. So that'll be 2 long. And then you're gonna take your half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. There we go. And it says in the recipe for brown sugar and ginger, but we didn't get all that. We just got the really savory pieces we need. And you're gonna mix this in. You're gonna mix it all the way through where every little piece gets this seasoning that it needs. You could season it as you cook, like if you need a little more salt, or you could put it after. I'm pretty sure I might need more salt, maybe, but we'll see. And then it requires for you to cool it in the fridge overnight or a few hours, depending on how cool your fridge is. But we're gonna let it cool for a few hours, and then zip it, kind of air it out. Try not to use my hands to touch the bag. We're gonna let that marinate, and we'll get back to you when it's done. Alright, so it's cold and it's ready to be molded. So you're gonna take like a nice golf ball size piece. Let's see how it looks after you roll it. It could be a little less since the golf ball's not that big. And then you're gonna roll it, like compact it a bit. And then you're gonna circle it a bit, kind of flatten it, because the flatter it is, the quicker it'll cook. And this is how it will look. And then I'll get back to you when everything is all molded and ready to go. Okay. You ready? Alright, so you're gonna have your pan heated, and then you're gonna take your little patties and place it on here. Switch it over. it starts cooking throughout, after it gets a certain color at the bottom, you flip it, and then it'll be done because of the size, like the thickness. Because I'm not doing very thick, I'm doing very thin, so it could cook a little bit better. So I'll get back to you when it starts browning. Okay, so it's about time to flip. And then we're going to let it cook on the other side to get it brown. And with pork, you're starting to see that little bubble in that liquid. I should not be using tongs, but it's easier for me to grab. And then we'll get back to you when it's fully done. Alright, these guys are pretty much done. And I'm going to start plating. If the temperature for ground pork is 160, so when your thermometer hits 160, that is the best time to put them off. Alright, now we are going to check it out. Sorry for all the moving around. So I'm going to do this little guy here. Use all the other stuff got me full. So it's going to look like this. Cold, cooked throughout, no pink. This is pretty good. I recommend that, like, it might need slightly more salt, but then again, since it's ground pork already has some sort of saltiness to it. So, but I like the spice from the chili flake, real red pepper flakes. I like the fact that it has its own salty content. It's very savory, mouth-watering, and other than that, it is pretty good. So thank you for watching, and this was the breakfast sausage.